excited for today's video. So I wrote down all of my tips, which amounted to 10 tips in total, but I'll be giving like tips within the tips of productivity and how to focus when working from home. I know it is such a crazy and wild time right now, and a lot of us are finding ourselves in uncharted territory working from home every single day. I know it can be quite the adjustment, and I actually, if you weren't aware, I've been working from home 99% of the time for over a year now. So throughout my time working from home, I have kind of picked up little tips and just advice on how to stay focused, how to get stuff done when you're just surrounded by distractions. And I personally love working from home. I definitely think you have the opportunity to be even more focused and productive and comfortable. So I feel way more inspired at home than I do in an office. And I just wanted to share my tips on how you can really just enjoy this time and make the most out of it. So my first tip is to wake up at the same time each and every day. I know this can be tricky, especially when you might have the opportunity to kind of sleep in now. And don't get me wrong, I totally have days where I do sleep in if my body is really telling me that I need some extra rest, and so I definitely support that. But overall, I think it is really beneficial to kind of designate a time where you're gonna go to bed and you're gonna wake up each and every day. Not only will this help you just kind of stay on track, but it's also good for your body to have this kind of consistent sleep schedule. So even when you do go back to the office or you stop working from home, having this consistent time to wake up is beneficial for so many reasons. Even if you want to stay up really late and wake up really late, that's totally fine. It's just having that consistency is key. And then my second tip is to get ready and change in the morning. So there is a little caveat to this. When I say get ready, I don't necessarily mean put on your pink blazer and your suit or what you would normally wear to work, but I just mean change out of your PJs. It's so easy to just stay in your PJs all day and work, and I've totally done that, and you really can have a productive day, but usually it's better to at least just change out of your PJs. Personally, my favorite work from home outfit is a blazer, a nice t-shirt or a little tank top, and then my sweatpants and my fuzzy slippers. So I kind of have business on the top and party on the bottom and comfy cozy on the bottom, because I actually do have a lot of virtual meetings, so it is important that I look presentable. And you know, I usually wear my blue light glasses because sometimes I will not wear makeup or do my hair, so having the blue light glasses or glasses in general really helps you look more put together and like you made an effort to get ready in the morning. So even if you don't get really dolled up, I personally don't even like to get dolled up every day. This is just such a great way to kind of normalize your new routine of working from home. My next one, tip number 3, is to make a time blocked schedule where you have a time where you're going to work on each thing and you have all your goals mapped out and when you're going to take a lunch break and, you know, just a break in general. Google Calendar is my best friend, and when I have days where I need to be so immensely productive and I have a lot on my agenda, time blocking is super key. So I have different like little categories because I do work for Disney and I also work for myself and YouTube. So I have different color coordinated calendars to kind of help me have that visual cue, and I also set little reminders so I know when meetings are coming up and anything like that. So if you haven't tried out Google Calendar, I highly recommend, and it's completely free, which is definitely a plus. I also like to write down tons of to-do lists and stuff like that, but Google Calendar is awesome because it's on your phone and on your computer. Also, while you're time blocking your day, a great thing to keep in mind is to make a separate time for when you do laundry and clean your house and kind of do house chores, because when you are working from home, it's so easy to just do that throughout the day while you're working, and it can be super distracting. So if you're really trying to focus, maybe make a time block in the morning before you start work to get your laundry done, and then after work, do the dishes and stuff like that. Okay, number 4 is to create a separate workspace. And I know this can be tricky if you live in a small space, but it is great to have this like designated spot where this is your work spot. Thankfully, we have this little corner in our 1-bedroom, 1-bath apartment that I was able to fit a desk in, and that's kind of my designated workspace. But you really could do this anywhere. Even if you just have one little room, you could set up a cozy little corner and put a little chair, or even if you were sitting crisscross applesauce on the floor with like a little poof to use for your laptop. It's just really nice to have that spot where, you know, you're not in your bed or on the couch. But I will say, working from home, something that has helped me is to move around throughout the day. So I'll start at my desk and get some stuff done there, but then once I kind of feel a little stiff, I might move to the bar or island and stand up and work standing up for a little bit, and then I might move to the couch or this little cozy chair we have in our living room and then work from there for a bit. I have really noticed that it helps me to kind of switch it up and have different spaces to work throughout the day, and it kind of gives me a little change of environment and helps me stay refreshed and motivated. Okay, number 5 is probably my favorite, and that is to create some rewards and inspiration for yourself. So for me, one thing I almost do religiously every single day is make a nice cool glass of iced coffee in the afternoon, especially now that the weather is getting warmer. I love to kind of cool down and treat myself to a little coffee. So I usually have this coffee around 1:30 or 2 p.m. every single day. So it really kind of gives me a lift and helps me kind of get re-inspired and re-motivated after, you know, you have a busy morning and then after lunch lull kind of hits. So to make my iced coffee, I usually just make a little cup of French press coffee, but you can use whatever, you know, coffee maker you have. And then I put that in the freezer for about 15 minutes just so that it can cool, because it's really, really hot after I finish brewing it. And then once it's nice and cool, I pour in some crushed ice. And then I'll add either some creamer or something sweet. I have coffee syrups, I have creamer, but then I also get the La Colombe draft lattes, and I'll kind of mix that in, and it just makes it such like a sweet and fun treat. So highly recommend doing that. And if you don't like coffee, you can do the same kind of thing with some tea or some kombucha or a soda or like sparkling water or something like that. That just gets you excited and kind of gets you refreshed. Tip number 6 is to take breaks. When you work from home, you really don't have coworkers to talk with at the water cooler or friends popping by your desk or anything like that. And you may not realize, but when you do work in an office, like you talking to your coworkers is kind of taking a break if you're just talking about like some pop culture stuff or just some fun life stuff. So yeah, when you work from home, it's very easy to not take breaks. So make sure you kind of make some time where you can either go for a walk if you're able, or you can watch a little show or YouTube video for 15 minutes or do some stretches, anything like that. Just making those designated breaks will really help break up your day and make sure you're creating a good balance. Okay, tip number 7 is to maintain a clean environment. And I know this can be very tricky, especially if you have pets and kids, but at least for me, I get super distracted if I have a bunch of papers and just like stuff all around me. So I try to keep my desk and just living area in general super clean and not cluttered at all. It just helps me really focus. So I definitely recommend doing that. And then a little side note, I also like to have candles and my diffuser around because this just creates kind of a more inspiring environment for me. Okay, tip number 8 is to make good meals throughout the day, good and healthy meals throughout the day that you look forward to. So for example, I know not everybody's a breakfast person, but one great thing about working from home is that you save time traveling and getting ready to go for work, or go to work. So you have more time to make breakfast and stuff like that, and it's easier to kind of make a more in-depth lunch, I guess you could say, since your kitchen's right there. So that's a huge plus. And some of my favorite breakfasts are peanut butter and banana oatmeal, a nice, you know, scrambled eggs with some avocado and lots of spices. Sometimes I'll even make heart-shaped waffles on a Wednesday. Like, you have that extra time, which is such a privilege and luxury to be able to make a fancier breakfast, and this will help you feel more excited about your day and excited to wake up and get out of bed and get in the mood to get stuff done. Okay, tip number 9. This is a fun one. So another plus about working from home is getting to listen to music or podcasts or even put the TV on in the background. And you can do this without putting headphones on. I know some of my headphones end up hurting my ears at the end of the day. So it's nice that you have a space that's just yours, or maybe you're sharing it with your spouse, which I'm totally doing right now. So I am wearing my headphones, but being able to listen to stuff that entertains you and inspires you throughout the day is really great. And I know not everybody's work will allow them to kind of multitask like that, or you're not able to focus at all, but I personally love to listen to music while I work. And one of my favorite genres to listen to while I work is lo-fi. It's kind of like this really cool beat music, but usually there's not that many words. I'll insert, or I'll try to find one so you guys can hear. Spotify has lots of lo-fi playlists. My favorite one is Lo-Fi Beats. It's this one, and it just really helps me focus. I don't know what it is about it, but it's really great. So good. So finding kind of your favorite music that helps you focus. I know instrumental music and kind of like classical music can help people focus, but being able to kind of play that throughout your living space and your home can really help you focus, and also be a fun little treat because in your office you probably aren't able to do that. And then my last tip, which I am absolutely awful at, but I wanted to share because I do think it's important and it's something I'm trying to improve on, is setting a end time for your workday. So, you know, you don't have to stick to that 9 to 5. I mean, maybe you do, it depends on your workplace, but if you are working from home, you might have more flexibility on when you can start and end your day, but it is important to create that established end time so that you're not working longer than you should and you're still maintaining that healthy work-life balance, and you're setting those boundaries, because when you do work where you live, boundaries can sometimes easily go out the door because you're just always there and the work is just right there staring you in the face. So it's important to, you know, even if you start working at 10 and you want to stop working at 6, I don't know, whatever it is, just creating that time where you stop and you can have some fun, FaceTime your family, play some board games, whatever it is, so you are not becoming a workaholic, which I can definitely be guilty of. But it is important to make sure you maintain a balance and you maintain a healthy lifestyle as best as you can. I know it's not always easy at all, and I don't want this video to seem like it's easy, but I really hope these tips are helpful to you and you really use this time working from home as a blessing and you can grow from it and practice self-discipline. It'll definitely do that, if anything. So I really hope you enjoyed these tips, and thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye!